everybody that on Saturday, April 19th, which is next Saturday at noon at the City Park, we're going to have our community Easter hunt. It's sponsored by our fire department and by the auxiliary and by the police department. If you'd like to donate eggs or candy for this, you can bring them here to City Hall, to the fire station, or to the Chamber of Commerce building here on 276. Also, next Tuesday, which is the 15th at night at 10 o'clock, we'll be at the Chamber building to stuff all the eggs. And so far, the count on our eggs is almost 5,000. So we're probably going to smash the record from last year of how many eggs we got to these kids. So if you want to contribute to it, we need them. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am. I think that was the only citizens input that we had. So that'll take us to number 4, which is a public hearing. Number 4A is replat 108 Kings Bridge, West Waukene in Texas, 75474. Legal description is S2157B, Tree Investment Edition, Lot 1, acres is 1.428. The property ID number is 101797, zoned single family. So that's SF2 is what we always refer to it as, in case people hear us say that. And the request is to replat into 6 lots with a road. And then item 4B is going to be replat 112 Kingsbridge Road, West Waukene, Texas, 75474. Legal description is S2157B, Tree Investments Edition, and then the lots is 2 acres. No, I'm sorry, lot 2, acres is 1. Property ID is 238498, and that is also zone single family 2, SF2. The request is to replat into 6 lots with a road as well. That'll take us to 5 for discussion and or action to close public hearing.
Make a motion.
Unless there's somebody that wants to speak about this. Is there a discussion? Okay, that's fine. If they're here, let's talk about it. We'd like to hear what they have to say about it.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
council members and mayor. Thank you for.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Sir, again, my name is Jonathan Saldana. I reside in 2921 Brush Creek Street in Grand Prairie, Texas. I'm here to speak on behalf of Mr. Juan M. Salas in regards to the 12 lot development he's hoping to bring to the local city. Our project, as you already know, consists of a cul-de-sac dead end private road with 12 lots total, 6 on the lot that was the parcel that was previously mentioned, and 6 on a separate parcel that we're looking to replat for this subdivision. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to the staff that's been helping us from the city. We got some great feedback, that's always welcome. Our interest is to bring the project that hopefully the city of Waukene and the residents think is positive input into the local community. There is some technical aspects that we're refining with staff, mainly with the utilities that are going to serve this subdivision, but we've done a little bit of research in the back end, and we do think we have a solution that will work for everybody, we hope. I know this is the second session we had here, so I am generalizing as far as the scope of the project, but I'd like to know if there's any questions from staff.
One question. Is it 112 or 122? Because somewhere I saw 122.
It's 112.
It's 112. Okay. Somewhere in the documentation it says 122.
It's 112.
It's 112. Okay. And so these are 2 different plats, 6 and 6, total 12, right?
That's right. Currently, it's exactly how it says in the document that was given to me. It is currently 2 lots. They're both more or less the same size, So we're replanting both lots simultaneously and then subdividing them six lots on each parcel that we currently have right now with a private road going down the middle in a cul-de-sac.
You said you have some solutions, planning and zoning had some concerns, right? The cul-de-sac.
So yes, the planning and zoning, from where I'm aware, had some concerns as far as the usable space of the lot, taking into account the radius of the cul-de-sac. We do, although it is a private road, our intention is to leave, design it with enough space, whether in case in the future it were to go public. And that's not the game we're aiming for. We want it to be an independent road, private road, but the space that we're giving to the road itself, to the cul-de-sac, will comply, or we do aim to comply with city standards and that. And so because of that, we do end up on the last 4 lots at the very end with a shorter depth. Taking the cul-de-sac into account, we still comply with the single-family 2 zoning as far as square footage goes, as far as lot width goes. The lot depth, taking the cul-de-sac into account, I do believe we're slightly underneath on the lot depth because of, on this property line only. But we, as far as taking setbacks into account, we would still comply. Our preference would be to keep those 4 lots, but we're here to work with the city. So yes.
I think planning and zoning was saying they make it 10 instead of 12, right?
Correct. That was their recommendation. We are coming back open to reducing it to 10. However, we would still formally we would like to request to leave it at 12. But if city thinks that's not something the city's open to, then we would change it to 10.
This one, this.
Was a road made out of?
We were given several options from city staff. We intend to use asphalt right now. We were contemplating between asphalt, concrete, and gravel. Gravel, something we want to stay away from. Asphalt seemed like a happy medium between cost and durability.
So this is in the city. It won't be private. It'll be.
Well, it can be. I mean, we have areas in the city. I mean, that's all depends on the developer. So when they develop it, you have a developer agreement. All these things go into play. So I mean, it just has to be set up that way. It's kind of like Wichita Bay. Is that what it's called?
So Wichita Bay we're adopting, but the city doesn't have to adopt the road.
Right.
It can be a private road.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when they asked about that, I believe they said we're planning on having an HOA that would basically
Manage.
maintain the road.
Right.
So there would be something in their deeds that said it where the homeowners were responsible for the maintenance on that road, not the city.
Okay.
I have one more question. This lot number 10,
Mhm.
that 8,453 square feet, that's outside of the street, is it? Or is it include part of the street too?
As drawn on there, it does include the part of the street. We did not, in that version that you have, we did not take out the portion that, the square footage portion that would be the street itself. So, no, sir, the 8,745 includes the entire lot, including the portion that's the road that would be passing through that lot.
So it's not usable if there's a street. The buyer wouldn't have 8,400. How much would he have, or he or she would have?
He or she would have about 7,000.
7,000.
Uh-huh.
So the setbacks and everything would be very little, right?
we did take the setbacks into account. The setbacks, 20-foot setbacks, 5 on the sides, I do believe 5 on the rear. Please
5 in
correct
the
me.
back?
Well, excuse me, I shouldn't say that because I don't recall the rear setback, but we definitely would have more than 5 feet. We have floor plans we've been considering. Those 4 lots in the back, we would consider a more traditional, wider design. Instead of going for the depth, we go for the width of the home, right? So that way we don't, yeah, we're living, the house is getting built in an area where people appreciate having a good sized backyard, and if you want to have a successful neighborhood, we're gonna make the most out of those lots. So what we're designing is, regardless if the setback is on the rear is 5 or 10 or 15, we're aiming for more like 20.
Aiming for how much?
Or more like 20, at least 20.
To give a backyard.
Yes.
Right, quote unquote.
That's right.
Have y'all played with the thought of 2-story homes?
Actually, you know what? We have not. We have not. The floor
I
plans. Yeah, that would make it easier.
Thinking outside the box, right?
Yeah, you know, quite slightly embarrassing. We have not. We only played with a single story, but a 2-story would definitely help.
So you
us
can double
with
your
the
square
footprint.
footage right quick, right?
Yeah, yeah. But to give your answer, I mean, if we need to record stricter rear setbacks in the plat or something that would ensure the city that the homes that would go in those cul-de-sacs would have an appropriate rear backyard, we're open to it. We do believe that we can comply with the SF2 zoning requirements without reducing the amount of lots, which is currently 12. But we're here to work with the city. So
Well, I mean, the city doesn't have anything that restricts the size of the backyard. It's just the
It'll
setbacks,
depend
and
on
they're
the
just.
final
I mean,
design,
we don't try to
the
get
size of the
involved
road,
with
make sure
that.
we
I
can
mean,
go all the way.
the backyard
It's
size
already
will be to y'all's
just
benefit,
sufficient.
right?
Mhm.
I
But
think the
if the-
idea was, and it's
The
our
final
setbacks
plans will have to be
are like the
reviewed.
same of a lot of other cities. I mean, there's a lot of generalization when it comes to these things. So, I mean, our setbacks they're our setbacks. We don't change them. Not to say that they may not change at some point as life changes, but I mean, at the moment, I'm sure you have all those.
yes, we do. We got those for staff. Again, thank you. Staff has been very helpful, giving us the information we need. But to be quite frank, it's exactly how the mayor stated. It's to our best interest to just provide a design that people wouldn't want to make their home. It is true that we could maximize the footprint of the house, and then have a very small backyard. However, that's not our plan. If that's not sufficient for the city, we are open to recording a setback on the plat that would restrict us to a certain rear setback. But I guess that's about as much I can say to that.
Yeah, I mean, the SF2 setbacks,
Yep.
they are what they
They
are.
are
As
what
long as you guys are inside of those, but I think your thought process about saying the backyard being a bigger size is I mean, that's gonna have sellability, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, I don't know, maybe it's something like your cost of going up versus going out, right? I mean, but the old saying says you can sometimes go up cheaper. So, smaller foundation and just some more wood. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to have the wood no matter what you build as far as square footage, I think is the idea behind that. So maybe that's something you can look at.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said earlier, we have played with different designs and floor plans, keeping in mind, just thinking ahead of what the future steps are in this project. We have not contemplated 2 stories, but that's not because we didn't want to. It just unfortunately didn't ring a bell in our heads. But definitely something we'll be looking to hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
make sure
I think the
because-
biggest deal that my concern in conversation would be is emergency vehicles, right?
Mhm.
Just try to take that into consideration or thought. And I mean, even if this is a private road, and that's great, if that's what you guys are wanting to do, the city's going to try to work with any developers that come in. We want to bring people here, and we want to work with people. But when you're doing that, kind of keep the emergency vehicles in the thought process there, because if something happens, let's say at lot, what is it, 9, right, and they have to come all the way down that road to lot 9, you're going to want whatever emergency vehicle to be able to get in and out of there safely to provide care for whoever they're coming to see.
And
Yes.
if I remember right, they're 23 foot on the road and 60 on the cul-de-sac.
Right. Yes, ma'am, you're right. That's correct. So, I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Well, to her comment that when we first reached the city about this, there was we were given some information as far as what fire department or what the requirements were for a cul-de-sac or fire emergency vehicle to be able to turn, and that's the basis for the street
Yes,
design
sir.
that you see.
Yes, sir.
Keeping in mind what you said.
Yeah, that's sort of basically like industry standard, really. That's like the minimum standard for the industry. So, not really us. We didn't create it. We look at everybody else and what everybody else is doing, and they've already got wheels that are turning, so we just use their wheels and copy them. So we don't try to create our own wheel, because that takes too much work, and then we may make mistakes. So if other people have it and it's going, we try to use it, piggyback off of it. Any other questions on this?
Yeah.
Anybody? No? Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, then I guess
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Chris made a motion.
Second.
Second by James.
Jeff Covey. Ramsey Lindsay. Waiting on you. Chris Burkett.
And it's all in favor. Okay, so we adjourned the public hearing at 6:49. We will You got it? Okay. So it is April 8th, 2025. It is now 7 p.m. and we're going to call our regular session meeting to order. And we're going to start with invocation and then Pledge of Allegiance. And I think Miss Robin Myers is going to lead us in a prayer.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this gathering of leaders and citizens here tonight. And Father, we ask that you guide our council and mayor with your wisdom to help our city continue to grow and prosper. And Father, we ask and pray that for our mayor, Kevin Featherston, and his family as they mourn the loss of their loved one today. Just please bring this family comfort during this time of great loss. And we pray for the leadership of our state and country and ask that you bring all of them together to find common ground in a peaceful, constructive, and productive manner. Please help them to bring us to a place of unity, peace, and respect for each other. And Father, pour your blessings out on our leaders, city staff, employees, and citizens. And watch over all of us as we leave this place and go about our daily lives. We thank you for all of your blessings. And may we all be reminded that with you all things are possible. We ask all these things in your Son Jesus' precious name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, we're still good.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Robin. So that's going to take us to number 3. Any announcements?
I got one actually.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the first crack at the visitors guide. So I'll take inputs and try to make it better. I think we got to fill this in, but it's just an attempt.
Yeah, very good start. Very good start. Okay. Any other announcements? No? Do you want to bring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's fine to bring up the Easter egg hunt for sure.
Next Saturday, April the 19th, is our community Easter egg hunt. It's presented by the fire department, auxiliary, and the police department. We still need donations of eggs and candy. The event will be at noon that day, so if you would like to donate eggs and candy, you can bring them here to City Hall, the fire station, or the Chamber of Commerce building up here on the highway. Also next Tuesday, which is April the 15th, at 10 a.m., we'll be at the Chamber building again to fill the Easter eggs. So if you'd like to come help do that, or if you want to donate anything, we'll take donations up until that day. So far, we have about 5,000 eggs that are already filled, but we need some more because this is a big event. We have a lot of kids that turn out for this. So if you do that, we'll really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other announcements? No? Okay. I'm going to pause real quick for just a second, please, guys. I want to make sure that we're all thinking about our public safety while we're in this building. JD, if we need to, could you get some more chairs if we need to put along the front there? And if we could allow all y'all to come in here and be able to sit and attend and be in the meeting, I would rather that be a safer manner rather than if something was to happen and we all need to try to get out of this building and that hallway would be clear. Ma'am? Yeah, probably that crash bar in the back, but so I do want to make everybody know that we do have exit signs, and then if you go down this hall, if there's something happening up front, there's a back door that will take you straight out this building into the backyard. So guys, if we could, and y'all are welcome to be here for sure, but if you guys would come maybe sit here instead of blocking that walkway there, please. You're very welcome to come sit in one of these chairs here and have your equipment. I don't want somebody to walk by your equipment and knock it down.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have any sign-ins for citizens input unless I missed them. No? Okay. So that's going to take us, that's number 5 is the citizens input. It's going to take us to number 6, consent agenda items, which is A through M. Any questions on consent agenda items? Everybody got those in your packet? Got to spend some time looking through them?
I make a motion we approve consent agenda.
Motion made.
Consent agenda items A through M.
Sorry, Chris, I interrupted you.
Seconded.
Motion made by Chris, seconded by James. We got votes on those?
Judge Gover. Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shaw.
Chris Burkett.
And they're all in favor. So I'll take us to number 7, which is old business. Discussion and or take action to approve ordinance number 329.03.11.2025, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 5, Fire Protection of the City of West Waukene, providing a penalty of a fine not to exceed $500 for each offense, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, providing a repealer clause, and providing a publication, and providing for an effective date. And I believe that is that. Anybody have any questions on that?
I have one question though.
Yes,
So,
sir.
in the language, it says that you have jurisdiction over another 5,000 feet of the city limits. There's a mention of 5,000 feet of the city. So we can go into the ETJ, can we?
I did not print any of that, but I don't remember seeing that verbiage.
Maybe do a search for 5,000.
Well, she's saying she thought that was struck from it.
It was.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the last one? Because we brought it back after we removed that.
No, this is the one that came in with the packet.
We maybe attached the wrong one. Shouldn't have, I saved yours over it.
Do we want to give Shannon time to look through that and come back to this one?
This is the corrected one,
Yeah.
where Lee corrected it. I don't see it in there.
Yeah, I mean, because you're looking at the packet, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at well, I just pulled up what I emailed to her.
Maybe.
Yeah, we did from the packet one here, it was struck. I was like, I know I struck that.
Okay,
So that was struck out of it. Maybe that was somehow an older
Old one probably.
version.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't save over it.
So I'll make a motion. Can we make a motion?
Yes. As long as, any other questions? Any other comments, questions? No?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance number 329.03.11.2025.
I got a second on that?
Second that.
Motion made by James, seconded by Chad. We got votes,
Judge Gover. Ramsey Lindsay.
James.
Chris Burkett.
and they're all in favor. Okay. Takes us to number 8, new business. Discussion and action to approve or deny replat 108 Kings Bridge, West Waukene, Texas 75474. Legal description is S2157B. Tree investments, addition, lot 1, acres is 1.428. The property ID is number 101797. It's zoned single family 2, that's SF2. And the request is replat into 6 lots with a road. This is what we just had in our public hearings. Anybody have any other questions about that?
If there's no discussion, I'll make a motion we approve the replat.
Can can I ask if there was anything from P and Z that needs to be said or wants to be said by P and Z on this one?
So, we didn't have any major objections, just the lots 9, 10, 11, 12 do not appear to be 4,800 square feet outside of the roadway. What was that? That was our only concern. We just requested that it be denoted on the plats to verify that 4,800 square foot is met.
So, and that's actually, if my memory is correct, a little foggy today, but that's actually a requirement for SF2, correct? I mean,
4,800 square foot's
yeah.
the minimum requirement.
so we have to make, I mean, we'll have to make sure that, is he still in here? Oh, there he is. I'm so sorry. And I'm sure that's something that you guys are trying to make sure of too when you are doing this, is to make sure you're fitting into the SF2 qualification. And then, of course, all the setbacks and everything that we spoke about earlier.
Yes,
So, okay.
yes, that's right. I don't recall the square footage off the top of my head. We're definitely above that figure. We verified. Thank you again for bringing that concern up.
Okay.
As long as we're meeting the requirements, my motion is approved to replat it to SF, to the replat.
To the 6 lots?
Yes.
With the road. Okay. I got a second on that?
Second.
Motion made by Chris, seconded by Chad. Got votes?
Chad Jacoby. Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shem.
Chris Burkett.
And they're all in favor. So that takes us to 8B, discussion and or action to approve or deny replat of 112 Kingsbridge Road, West Tawakoni, Texas. And that does not say road, so it's Kingsbridge, West Tawakoni, Texas, 75474. Legal description is S2157B, tree investments. Addition lot 2 acres is 1. Property ID is number 238498. It's zone single family 2, SF2, and the request is to replat this one into 6 lots with a road as well. Any other questions on that one?
I'll make a motion, we approve the replat.
Motion made by Chris.
Second.
Got a second. Who seconded it?
Ramsey.
Ramsey seconded it. I got votes,
Chad Jacoby. Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shem.
Chris Burkett.
and they're all in favor. That takes us to 8C, discussion and or action to approve park event request for Hope Night, May 2nd, 2025. I think we've got somebody here to speak.
Yeah, I can speak into that. So Hope Knot is a free community event.
Can you state your name, sir, please?
Yes, sir. I'm Caleb Henderson. I'm the executive pastor at Oasis Church Cattle Mills.
Okay.
I know we are in Cattle Mills, but we have a heart to reach the communities in Hunt County. And so Hope Night is a free community event that we put on for the community for all ages. We have a lot of different activities that we like to put on for the kids. We also have food trucks. We have, again, it's all free, bounce houses, those types of activities. We also like to provide a hot meal for the families here locally. And basically we put on that event and then we invite them to an opportunity to encounter Jesus, and we preach the gospel of Jesus. We have a worship set, live music, where we allow them to encounter the presence of God. We have a ministry, an outreach ministry that actually comes out here. I think they've stopped doing it the last month because they relocate themselves, but we have an outreach team that has come to the Wagon Wheel Motel and has fed that community there for the last 6 months. And so with that, we have had this desire of, okay, we want to come out here and actually put on a full experience for the community, for people to hear about God and to know that He loves them. And so we would love to be able to come into this city to put on that. Anybody would be welcome to that, of course. Any local churches that want to come and be a part of that. Again, it's just we want to come and bring hope to this community. Right now, the date that is on the piece of paper is May 2nd for Friday. We actually now, since we're just now pitching this idea to get approved, we actually would like to reconsider another date later in the year, just because it takes time for us to reserve a lot of that equipment and things for that type of event. It takes a lot of planning. We've actually put on 3 years in a row at Carver Elementary in Greenville. We've put on this event in the school district, utilizing their facility. We've also put 2 of these events on at the A&M Commerce University on their campus at the Rayburn Student Center. And we also have put on one at the Greenville Sports Park at Aunt Charles Park there in Greenville as well. And so we're just wanting y'all's approval to be able to come in here and do that, so.
I
So-
appreciate you sharing the references of the other
Absolutely.
areas that you guys did.
Yes. So you're wanting to do May 2nd and then possibly another one through the
No,
year, or
No,
you're wanting to
sir.
move
So
that?
reschedule of that date to a later date.
Do we have an about idea of date that we could look at?
Let's see, so that would be, I know we're gonna be doing 2 more at the end of this year, again at Carver and Greenville in September. We're gonna be doing it at A&M Commerce again in October. So we could look at maybe August, November.
Okay.
Maybe November more so would be the dates.
We need
Of
to
course,
bring it back when he locks in the date.
Yeah, how long do you think, how long did you say you would have to get your things reserved to put this on usually?
So
How far out?
So usually that end of the year, I know it's going to be getting a little bit colder too. So we just would need to work with one of the things is we want to utilize your park that's
Yes,
out
sir.
here. So we would need a tent.
So let's say tentatively, if we said it was going to be in August, I mean, what I'm saying is, how long do you have to reserve your equipment or whatever it is?
2 months would be great.
2 months.
Mhm.
Okay. So then, if we brought you back at our June council meeting, then that would give you the rest of, because it would be June the 10th. That would give you almost 3 weeks left in June, July, and then you could schedule it sometime in August. So if we had you on our June agenda to talk about this and try to lock in a date for August, and then if we say it's going to be November, then we'll figure out when we plug you back into the next agenda. You know, 2 months
Absolutely.
out.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound fair,
Yes, sir. That's fine.
guys? What do y'all think? I mean, I don't know.
So yeah, don't have a problem with it, but we can't approve it without a date, so.
No, that's what I'm saying. We would. I mean, basically, what we would need is a motion tonight for putting them on our agenda on June 10th to bring this back to council to talk about a real date of when you would want to do this. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to put the Hope Night people on June 10th agenda.
I'll second that. Motion made by James, seconded by Chad. We got votes.
Judge Kobe. Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shem.
Chris Burkett.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you. So that takes us to 8D. Discussion and or action to approve presentation with Jose Parado. Is that, anybody know how to say his name correctly? Because I probably just
You said it right.
messed it up. Jose Prado at 613 Wild Valley would like to address the council and request a 6-month extension regarding the home occupation. Is he here? Oh. Absolutely. We would love for you to, please. Did I say that last name right, sir?
You did, sir.
Okay.
I'm Jose Prado, sir, and I was, I think I talked to you a couple of times, right? I can't remember your name, but
Shannon?
okay. Well, I came here, sir. I even offered that, that I'm willing to help out. I mean, the way this sounds like I'm running a business in my house, like in my, my property. It's like running a business. Really, what we're doing, sir, was just parking in there. We leave in the morning. We don't come back until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. It ain't like we coming in and out or anything like that, So, I mean, I was told that we're destroying the streets or something like that. But like I said, if I came up a couple times here and I talked to somebody here in the office, like, hey, there's anything I can help, bring some rock or anything like that, if you think I'm destroying the streets, But I've been living at that property on 613 for about 3.5 years. I mean, I've seen a couple of times that, patched the street a couple of times, but, I mean, it's just not me destroying the street, sir. I believe I'm not, but like I said, I'm more welcome here. I'm more welcome volunteer, help out, and see if we can work something out,
So I have a question. I'm not understanding what the problem is. What is the problem? What are we trying to do?
We have several dump trucks running up and down the street on Wild Valley. They are residing at his house on Wild Valley, so they go down Kings to Wild Valley. We have a lot of vehicles parking there. The business is registered to the house.
So you got dump trucks that
I do, sir. Yes, sir.
a lot of them?
I mean, it's 5 of them, but like I said, we leave early in the morning, like around 6. We don't come back until like around this time, you know. It ain't like we're going up and down the street or anything like that, you know. Matter of fact, you know, I think their speed limit is like 10 miles per hour. My guys knows that when we go through that street, we go like 5, 6 miles per hour, sir. Even early in the morning, even in the evening, you know.
Okay,
Like
so,
I said, I'm not running a business there where I can make money, like I'm selling sand or I'm selling this and that. It's just a parking spot, you know, that we be using, you know. I mean, it ain't like we don't have room. I mean, we have quality, I mean, we have a lot of room in there, you know. So, I don't think I even got neighbors there, you know, so,
How much land do you have?
I'm sorry.
How much land do you have?
I think it's like 3 city lots.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The business is registered at that address, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have an office somewhere else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you are running the business out of that address, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is a residential address, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there is, and you understand you're not allowed to run a business out of the residence, right?
Not that I was.
Not that would be, not that kind of business out of that residence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we have regulations and rules about heavy vehicles, those heavy trucks on those roads. You know that? And that's what you and Shannon were talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can I say something about this whole situation?
This has been ongoing for a while,
Well,
right?
I have a dump truck too. He has a dump truck too. But can I stand up and say something?
No, sir.
well, yeah, unfortunately,
This is,
yeah,
we
we
don't
can't do
take
that.
questions.
Well, it's not a question, it's a statement.
I understand that, but that's
But
true.
hang on, sir, hang on.
No good, they don't maintain.
Sir,
they
hang
don't
on,
maintain
sir,
the roads properly.
sir. Unfortunately, we can't, we're all held under,
Well,
we would love to be able to
it
talk.
seems like you're just pinpointing the dump trucks out. What about these crackheads that are living in this subdivision right back here? No electricity, no water. This man, and me are trying to make a living, provide for this city. We do so much business for this
Sir,
city.
if you can't contain yourself, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry. Because we can't go back and forth like that. We have rules that we have to follow. And I'm not trying to be rude or mean to you. I'm just,
I want to stand up and say something about it.
well, I wish that's how these meetings would work because people can get their feelings out, but it's not. So, and I apologize for that, but we're all held to rules and regulations that we have to follow. So I'm gonna ask that you can contain yourself, please.
Is there a public comment sign-in sheet?
So, anyways, back, and I apologize for that, sir. We have you here and you're on the agenda, and I would like for us to be able to talk to you about what we have on the agenda.
So to that point, you've been talking with Shannon for a pretty long time now about this problem, haven't you?
Yes,
How many trucks do you have parked at your residence?
ma'am. Well, it started with 1, but now we're until 5, you know.
Okay, that's a lot. You understand why the city's got concerns about this. You've got a lot of heavy vehicles traveling down city streets when we do have issues repairing and keeping streets traversable. I mean, you understand?
Yes,
Okay.
Well, if I'm understanding correctly, I believe, Mr. Jose, I think you understand all that. You guys have talked about this. That's the reason why this is on the agenda. So I would like to, get into discussion with council members and get questions or discussion started here that what this 6-month extension regarding the home occupation is, okay? Rather than us getting into all these other conversations, I'd like to stick to what is here because obviously you knew this was going to be here. So the 6-month thing.
So that's where I was gonna go is you have a 6-month plan or you're asking for an extension?
I mean, I really thought, right now, I just don't even know, my plan B, but, just, I'm just trying to follow rules, they say that I'm destroying the streets, but, it ain't like we're going up and down. I get it, but, and like she said, running a business like that, but you have to have, your address where you park, due to the, insurance, purpose and stuff like that, You can't just put, okay, well, I'm gonna put this address in another spot, You have to have that address where
I
you.
don't disagree with you. The problem is you shouldn't be parking the big heavy dump trucks that are for the business purpose on the residential address. That's, the city regulations don't allow for that. And you guys are, girl, I see you guys, but you and your guys, I guess y'all are driving down the city streets that are not weight zoned for that. And that is, even if you're only driving twice a day down it, and even if they're empty, it's still causing a problem.
And you could, I would urge anybody, you could go to other cities and these same things are there, right? We're not one city by ourselves that do this. There's other cities that do this in residential areas for these reasons. I mean, I don't know. The 6-month thing is what I'm asking.
Yep.
I mean, this was brought up. It was a conversation that apparently you guys had. So I'm trying to figure out where that's at.
What is the actual deadline currently?
The notice is a 30-day notice. He asked for 6 more months to figure it out. That's not something that I feel like I personally, myself, can grant. So I suggested that he come and speak with council.
Well, I think because if there's not an actual plan in place, I think maybe we could extend it 30 days and then sit back and re-review it. But without any kind of plan, I just don't want to just kick it down the road. What are y'all's thoughts?
I agree with you. I think a short-term review would be, I mean,
Is that 30 plus 30?
that grants some time,
Yeah.
but with no plan in 6 months, that's, I wouldn't agree to that.
Would you be willing to come back to the council meeting next month so we could discuss it? And maybe you've had 30 days, let's say, to look into what's going on with the situation?
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion, we grant a 30-day extension to re-review it at our next council meeting.
Second,
Judge Cody.
Ramsey Lindsay.
Extension.
Chris Burkett.
All right. It's all in favor. Okay. Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you.
Can I be excused now?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you coming, or we appreciate you coming. Thank you. So that's going to take us to 8E, discussion, interaction, and presentation with Guri Ray. And are they even here?
They are.
Oh,
So this isn't really anything for action. They want to do something and they're coming to you guys to see, to kind of get your ideas on it.
use guys?
Sorry.
Use guys.
Use guys.
Long day.
I understand. I concur. So regarding the potential replat and placement of 55 townhomes on a combined 7 acres tract of land located in front of the golf course across from the city hall.
So this will be, if you are looking across the street from City Hall, this will be the properties on the left-hand side.
Okay. Let's
Basically, if you
talk
have
about it.
commercial up front in that side of land, planning and zoning said that it's up to you guys if they would allow the townhomes to go because you guys were wanting the commercial up front. So they're deferring for you guys to be able to.
So would you mind coming up here? We've got these fancy little new microphones. We're trying to make it where everybody can hear us. And what was your name?
Derek.
Derek. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. All right. So it was you said the commercial up front?
Yes. Currently, there's like 3 or 4 buildings that are up front.
Okay.
We want to rezone that to be townhomes with everything else with the single family that's there.
I got
What
you.
would, he would be talking about, yeah.
The pink ones.
So you're saying the townhomes would actually be all the way up to the road frontage?
So it would
They're
be
going to face the
this
golf course,
section
and
right
there is
here.
going to be a very wide bereavement before you even get to the right of way.
Gotcha.
So Derek, it's the same property that they had planned 4 or 5 commercial in the front, 16 house in the back, right?
Correct.
Same thing, you want to convert it into
Everything into the same development. Townhomes.
same area into townhomes.
Would that affect zoning for properties across the street?
I don't believe so. We've got it done for this right now.
what kind of residential would that take it to? Because townhomes are gonna be smaller lot lines, is what I'm guessing you're saying.
They would have to replat it.
I know, but which category, I guess which category would y'all be looking at?
I was kind of leaning towards leaving it in the mixed use category because we've already got, so what we have here, this is the road for the golf course, okay? Here we have a gas station, we have retail, we have a 36 unit and a 40 unit multi-family housing going in. Then we have some retail here, and these two are unproposed. We have the hotel here, and then they're talking about this entire area right here, which we had commercial and then houses. So technically, it would take the commercial out, and it would put townhomes in where the houses were. Basically, what that would do.
So can it even fit 55?
The density is probably gonna go down. We're probably gonna have to add in a detention pond and some, we're gonna lose some units there, but we'll get a total number before we come back.
Gotcha.
The idea was to make sure they weren't gonna throw a bunch of money at something that the city wasn't open to.
Right. None of this has been mentioned to P and Z at all?
Yes.
They spoke
Okay.
to P&Z on Thursday.
Okay. Can,
Yeah, you want me to say something?
absolutely.
So, I mean, he didn't give us much details. I mean, he hadn't had a plan worked out, but basically, what it sounded like, he wanted to situate the townhomes facing the golf course. We don't have any existing regulations for it. I think they would have to probably go to like a plan development, and they work with us and city council to develop some standards, how they're going to address it. Going to other cities, typically you see townhouses in a more amenitized areas with a lot of open space, and you've got the golf course for that. So I think it has potential. I'd like to see what they have. Really,
There's gonna be townhouses for sale, or it's gonna be a build-to-rent community first. We'll retain the asset. They will all be platted to where they can be sold individually.
They
Okay.
cannot be sold. They cannot be sold, right?
They
Yes,
can
they
be.
will
They
be
can be.
platted so they can be.
Right.
Is it gonna be like covered parking, I guess? There's not gonna be garages or anything?
Some will have garages, yes.
Okay.
And this is, how many townhomes in one unit?
4 right now. That is pretty standard for the size.
Two-story, I guess, or?
I think we're gonna have a mix of 1.5, 2, and if you guys would allow 3, possibly.
When these are for sale, what do you think it'd be worth?
Yeah. We don't,
Already doing that.
yeah, I mean, we don't have any, the 3 doesn't matter to us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, no height restriction, that's good.
To tell us.
if you wanna build a skyscraper,
I don't know if we're ready for it yet.
well, we're probably not either, but I'm just, it sounds cool.
You have to start somewhere though.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's a lot of commercial space to give up on that part of 276.
Well, I don't
That's too
know,
much for housing.
when we allowed that replat on all that, there was already concern with the building width and length being able to be the proper width and length.
Oh, yeah,
for-
because it was gonna, the buildings were not gonna be able to face the highway anyway,
Correct.
so there, I mean, I don't know that this don't actually
Better
fit,
the situation.
fit the property better. I mean, we would obviously have to see the plan of it, right? But, I don't know.
He's asking if we consider.
I don't have a vote. You guys need to kind of advise this gentleman of what y'all's thoughts are.
I have one more question though. So,
Yes.
some of these townhomes, say close to the street, close to 276, it's going to face 276, right? Or
No,
all of them facing the other way?
everything into the golf course, and it will be far from 276, a screening wall for noise cancellation, looks, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they would park. They would park on this side and essentially, yeah. That's what I'm kind of envisioning here.
I'd hate to give up that much commercial space right there. I feel like that's important for the city to have that.
Well, if you don't mind, the importance lies in developing the city, and those things have been for sale for 14 months with no action.
Right.
Can I make a motion then?
Does it actually call for a motion?
No, it's discussion
It's
and
just
or.
discussion. He wants to know if we'd consider it.
I mean, I would like.
I would
you guys
like to
give
see the
planning
plan.
and zoning the okay to rezone it.
I don't think you need to, is what Shannon's saying, if it's already mixed.
If they do it as a plan develop, it would be, but if they leave it in mixed use, it would not.
Plan development is probably gonna be a route.
What are you gonna do with the land between 276? What are your thoughts, Scott? What do you do
A
with it?
wide walking trail or a jogging trail possibly, and make sure we put lights on it.
Open
A
to
lot
the
of
public
lights.
or just for that?
Absolutely open to the public. And hopefully we can talk James into carrying it in front of the other property.
Oh, the walkway, gotcha. I mean, I can't disagree with what you said. I mean, the whole idea is developing, right? I mean, and I understand what you're saying as well, Chad, but, you know.
I think I'd like to see the plan at least.
Yeah, I mean, at least some sort of preliminary to have a
Absolutely.
better discussion. If that's fair to you, I mean, that would be my hope too, is to see something.
Is Raj going to be a part of it, or you?
It's absolutely.
Part of
Yeah, he's assigning into the JV, so. I mean, he's gonna be there, but
That
not.
land belongs to Gauri.
Yeah.
So I was asking if he's going to be part of this.
That sounds neat to me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess if you can contact folks here at City Hall and let them know when you want to kind of give us some sort of a, whatever it may be, whatever you call that, right?
Next
I
month.
don't want to tell you how to do your job because I don't know how to do your job.
Next month.
Okay. Beautiful. That would be awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So nothing needed there. So we're just going to push on past that one, right? So there's no action to be taken there, right? We all agree that? Okay. So
That's it.
that's going to take us to 8F. Discussion and or action to approve a recommendation from Jacob and Martin for a bid for this upcoming grant project.
So everybody got in their packet the Jacob and Martin bids, the recommended bids that we had after the bid opening. We did find that we are going to be a little over budget, so there are some other recommendations that me and her are still kind of discussing on the pumps and filter and figuring out what's going to be best for the city. But she did want to make sure that you guys were able to see her recommendations and where we could approve those bids. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, and I apologize. Christy tried to contact me this afternoon and was trying to have a little call with Mary and myself, and unfortunately, circumstances today that I was dealing with, I was not able to have that call.
Did anybody get to read those by chance?
I did.
Yes, I read them. I read them whenever I got home today,
Right.
but unfortunately, just the timing wasn't going to work for us to be able to call or talk to each other about it.
Hold up.
I mean, essentially, we're going to have to figure out how to squeeze this thing the right way to make it still be effective and work, is what we're going to have to do. I mean, we're just.
So she recommends on the SCADA project, we did receive 2 bids, the lowest bid at $67,850. And they recommend awarding the base bid to Eversolve Technologies for the total contract amount of $67,850. On the tank rehab project, we did receive 5 bids with a low base bid of $66,000 being turned in by McGuire Iron out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They've completed projects with this company before, and they see no reason not to award the contract. We recommend awarding the base bid for the total contract amount of $66,000. The pump and filter install project, they received 2 bids with the low base bid of $417,638.05. Based on the available budget for this grant, They recommend awarding the base bid deductible alternate A, deductible alternate C, and additive alternate D for the total contract amount of $323,706.10. So based off of what y'all decide, then they will then prepare the documents for the contractors.
We have to have the money, right? We don't have the money, do we?
Yeah, this is for the grant that we've been
Yeah.
awarded.
This is for the grant.
Yes, we've been awarded this grant.
Well, actually, we were probably talking about that.
This is a CDBG grant that was originally applied for in 22.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were probably talking about this even before he got on council.
Yes.
And we haven't had a whole lot of discussions about it because it's been in this whole process of bidding and all those things. So you haven't been privy to a lot of it, except for what you've been getting as of lately. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the engineers are in place to comb through these things for us. I mean,
They're the professionals.
yeah, I mean,
So
and they've done a good job for us.
council's approval on those 3 bids and projects.
They've done a good job for us on all the projects they've done thus far. So
So to keep it going, I make a recommendation, we approve her recommendations. Good enough?
Yep.
Yeah. Who seconded?
motion made by Chris, seconded by James.
Judge Kobe?
Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shem.
Chris Burkett.
All in favor? Okay. So that's going to take us to 8G, discussion interaction on approving contract with public management to add subdivision ordinances to the current planning services contract with additional costs.
So last month, we approved for them to do our zoning ordinances. And I misunderstood and told you guys that subdivision ordinances were included in this, and I was wrong. It's an additional $2,500 for the subdivision ordinance.
What does this do to our budget?
I believe, we were talking about this, that they agreed that they were gonna work with us and let us pay it so that we will actually be able to
Do this with the new
deal
budget.
it with it in the next.
Next budget year.
Yes.
Yeah, we can put it, I think that's something,
It is.
something sort of like what we did with Jacob and Martin
It is,
last year
yeah.
for
It is
this.
for the comprehensive.
So it's basically the same thing. And I think it's very important. I mean, without this, we've just kind of, I guess, for lack of a better word, spun our wheels.
So the original motion with the other was to approve it with it being in next budget year. I make the same motion with this, to approve, as long as the payments are in the next budget year so they can be adjusted for.
Second.
Judge Kobe?
Ramsey Lindsay.
James Shem.
Chris Burkett.
Did you get the second on that one? Okay. All right, and they're all in favor. All right, so that takes us to 8H, discussion interaction. Oh, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Discussion interaction on live streaming and recording for all city associated boards and commissions.
I put that on there because I get a lot of complaints anytime that our recording messed up or any other group's not recording. Citizens want to see it recorded more than online, so
1
I
million.
like to see that we make it mandatory for all groups.
I agree.
I think that's a great idea. So this is not part of that either.
No, sir.
No, this is new, which is good. It works pretty good, right?
This is
Yeah.
for city
So like
council.
if it doesn't work, we need a backup plan to make sure that it's recorded somehow. So
I will tell you, I think that you may have run into some issues with certain groups that have bylaws that they have to amend. And I don't know if we can make everybody amend everything. I will talk to some of your groups because there may be some technology issues with some of our groups.
Well, they pretty much all hold their meetings here.
I know, I don't know.
And we
who's
have,
setting them up.
and we have a city staff that is here with every one of these.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's something we developed, good gosh, months and months and months ago. That one city staff comes to each individual different meeting or commission meeting, whatever it is. To let them in the building, make sure they don't need anything, because we just ran into some issues with leaving only one person to do that.
Other issue is gonna be storage. We are required, anything the city has its storage thing, we've gotta keep those stored. There's got to be some kind of cloud storage, physical storage, and I don't know,
YouTube.
yeah.
Well, at least on YouTube is.
I know, but I don't, yeah, I know the cities is, but I don't know about the other ones. But we are required to keep, I wanna say it's at least 2 years on video.
So I think where all this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard some of it. I mean, we all have, but I think where all this came from was at one point in time, every one of our boards or commissions were live streaming, right? So was the council. And somewhere we've gotten away from that in some of them. So, I mean, I think that's where it came up, and it's the citizens, right? I mean, the citizens are who we all volunteered for, and who everybody that works for this city, they work for. And your paycheck comes from the citizens, and we hear from them. And I'm sure you've heard from them, I've heard from them. I don't know if anybody else has, but I think it's a great idea, and I understand there may be some red tape that we need to make sure that things are legal and straight or whatever, and that's fine. But my 2 cents is I think that we need to make that happen, but that's y'all's decision as a council.
I think it's a good idea. What happens if, say, the internet's down? They cancel the meeting, reschedule?
Record it, upload it later.
Huh?
Record it with a cell phone, upload it later.
I mean, you could do that. You could record it with a cell phone, but I mean, whether or not somebody's going to be okay with that, I don't know. I don't know if this system we can record without it being uploaded. Probably can. I'm not sure. We could look into that and see if there's a way to record, and that actually might. I mean, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. Makes me feel like we're being, I guess, somewhat up to date, that we can actually be live. But I don't want us to get in the habit of we record all of them, then upload them later. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of neat that we're live.
Right.
But again, I would almost bet that this system could record, save it, right, and then upload it if that's what we have to do. And I'm glad you said that. But the guy that does internet for a living would say that, not me. I'm in the overhead crane industry, so it's not my bottle of wax. But thank you, Chad, and that's why we're all here. But that may be something we need to look at, because there's been times that we've had issues getting these things started, and if we do that, let's stop, frustrating and fighting with it. And if we can figure out a way to record, then do exactly what Mr. Scobie just said, is record it, and then we can shoot it up to the outer space after the meeting. Now, that's what I call it. Is there a motion for this by anybody? Or any other discussion?
I make a motion that we approve the recording of all live meetings, or all meetings live, for all the groups.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second that.
Ted Cody.
Ramsey Lindsay.
James, yeah.
Chris Burkett.
You're all in favor? Okay, that takes us to 8I. Discussion and interaction to approve Lisa Maxwell on Keep West Walking Beautiful. I was told that she has actually withdrawn her request, so there will be no action on that item. That takes us to 8J. Hang on. Discussion and or action to approve ordinance number 330.04.05.2025, an ordinance of the City of West Waukene adopting rules and regulations for donation boxes, prohibiting donation boxes from being located in the City of West Waukene, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, providing for a penalty of a fine not to exceed the sum of $2,000 for each offense, and providing for a publication and effective date. And that was all that one. I don't know why I thought it went to the second page. Anybody have any questions on this? Anybody know what's being talked about here?
We're getting one in the city right now, right?
Yeah, at one time, at one time, we had as many as 5, in our little bitty city. And they were all along 276 at different businesses. And, I mean, I think the donation boxes are a great thing, but unfortunately, they're not respected. You know, I mean, a couch doesn't go to a donation
Right.
box, and that's what happens. And then it becomes a dump ground. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, it's a fact. And it happens everywhere. I don't know if y'all paid attention to them anywhere you go.
That's bad.
There was one on 276 and Highway 35. I'm not sure if it's still there, but I don't know the humanity of people where they just, I mean, it clearly says on there what they're asking for. But that's not what happens. It becomes a dump ground. That's the reason for this. Currently, right now, the only way to get rid of them is if they're on, obviously they're going to be on someone's property, is the property owner has to make a request for it to be removed. And then it's basically whoever like gets impounded vehicles or whatever has to come and pick it up. They actually then become the, I guess, the garbage person or disposal person, figuratively speaking.
I'll make a motion that we approve the donation boxes, prohibiting donations, boxes from being located inside the city of West Swakopmund.
Motion made by Chad. I got a second on that.
Second.
Seconded by James. We got votes.
Judge Governor.
Ramsey Lindsay.
Chris Burkett.
All in favor? Okay, any future agenda items? We're now on, number 9. Any future agenda items that we need to make note of to have on the next agenda? Other than what's been mentioned, I mean, we've got a project, Project Hope that's already gonna be on June, don't hold me to that date, 10th.
Question, actually, so the TDHCA, the Texas Department of Housing, they have a lot of programs to assist homeowners with, dilapidated houses and things like that. Can we ask for volunteers to come and learn this thing and help people that needs help? Is that something we can ask?
I guess I'm not understanding. Asking for them to send volunteers or?
No, we ask people actually, and I don't know how we go about doing it, ask people to come in and become a volunteer to help others who need that help. It could be weatherization, it could be repair assistance from TDHCA, things like that. How do we, there's money out there. We need someone who can read it, understand it, and then help others.
With their houses?
Housing repairs.
Is that the same grant that I sent you, Grant?
There's several variances of these similar things, or I guess, that achieve the same goal. I think that since that is an organization that's what they do, right? They've perfected their process. I think probably the first step would be that reach out to them to ask, hey, how do you go about reaching into these cities or into these areas? And I mean, yeah, we should definitely try to be a conduit for that, right? We should try to be a conduit for their whatever their help is for our city. But I think that's what I believe we talked about this in workshop maybe or something. We talked about something similar to this, and maybe getting some of their information, or whether it be pamphlets that would be at our front desk when people come in, or maybe we could share their information on our website.
Maybe I just do some homework and.
Well, yeah, I mean, it may be the fact of just contacting their organization, and sending them an email. Maybe we can get intertwined with them a little bit and try to get them offered into our citizens in our city that could use the help.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I'd like to put something on the next agenda. I'd like to do a little looking into getting a civil defense siren here.
Say it again?
A civil defense siren for like tornado warning or something. I'd like to look into it.
Civil defense siren. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not understand. When you said tornadoes, I put it all together.
I first thought you were an engineer, and I was like.
That's what I heard. But
That's
that's what I heard. But when I heard, yeah, when I heard him say tornado, I understood. So a civil defense siren.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So there are,
County. I would touch base with county first, probably.
there are several different programs out there, but it's gonna fall under the city. It wouldn't fall under the fire department. We tried back a couple of years ago.
Well, I'm saying lean on them to get some suggestions, or right, or maybe, which I think that the closest city to us is Emory.
That has one probably.
I think Emory.
Who?
Yes, sir.
Emory
Yeah,
does have one.
Yeah, Emory. No, Emory does. I think the closest city to us is Emory. Okay. So we'll have that on our next agenda. With hopefully some sort of an update, and I'll get with you guys too and try to help with that, and networking with other cities. But very good point. Yeah, my daughter was just listening to the one in Alba, whatever it was, a week ago or whatever. She was in Alba when it happened. Yeah. All right. Any other agenda items for this next month's meeting?
We have these two.
Right. The ones that I mean, I don't think those are just a given. I mean, you made note of those, as we said we would have those on there. These were anything that any of the council members had. I don't have anything for next month's meeting at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll make sure that we have that, and that takes us to 10, which is citizens input, non-agenda related items. I haven't gotten any sign-up sheets tonight.
They are right here if anybody would like them.
Okay. And so I don't have any of those.
Make a motion to adjourn.
And I got a motion to adjourn by Chris.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Chad. You
Judge
got
Kobe.
votes?
Ramsey Lindsay.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned, and it is 7:57, like the airplane.